What's up, YouTube? It's your man Isaiah 53. I just want to share with you guys a little snippet. A lot. I've experienced a lot. You know, when I was a kid. Demonic attacks, spiritual attacks, all that stuff. Uh, but I'm gonna touch on just one thing that I need. I need to let people know about, like, Satan, because it seems like there's some people out there that think Satan is he's gonna be their friend or their boy or something when they die, and they're gonna have a big party with him. So let me just give you guys like an idea of who's your enemy and what he's capable of. Okay, so I was young. I was probably like, I want to say I was about 10 years old. Um, I come from a Haitian family, and those of you who come from a Haitian family know that there's usually people in the family that know witchcraft. My grandmother just so happened to be a witch doctor. She know how to do voodoo on people and all that stuff. So there's a lot of like demonic activity going on in the house. So as a 9, 10 year old, I don't really know what's going on. I just see what I see and I hear what I hear, and that's pretty much it. So um, I had an experience. I had an experience when it happened on several occasions, but I'm gonna just go from the beginning. So I got up one night. I wanted to go to the bathroom, um, and I just got like this overwhelming feeling of fear. Like I was just afraid. I didn't even know why I was so afraid, but I was afraid. But I still had to use the bathroom, so I'm like, all right, let me just go to the bathroom. And I'm making my way to the bathroom, and I just hear chatter, like it sounded like a bunch of people talking, but I couldn't make out what they were saying. But they was like, so like I open my eyes and I see like five, between 4 or 5 spiritual beings, like, but it was demonic. But they were like talking to each other, and when they all saw me, they all stopped, realizing that I can see them. So hold on a second. So yeah, so it's like 5 spiritual beings that all like congregated talking to each other. When they realized that I can see them, they all stopped talking and they looked at me at the same time. And I just looked at them. And I was like, whoa, right? And so I ran back to my bed or whatever, and actually I was sleeping on the couch. I think, yeah, I was on the couch. And so I ran back to the couch, and then I peed myself on the couch. Like, I ain't going to the bathroom then. So why would I go to the bathroom? You know what I'm saying? I just take my chances pissing on myself. So I just turned into a bedwetter, and it's like happening a lot. So eventually, I I just stopped getting up. I just kept pissing the bed, and it got to the point where I guess these demons or whatever they were, well, I know what they were. They were demons, but they, I guess they got more bold, if that's what you want to call it, more bold. So knowing that I wouldn't get up, one night the thing opened my door, walked. I knew right away it wasn't like a family member, because I got afraid. Like it was like it's like a gripping fear. It's like not the fear that you feel like when a person's messing with you or a person's trying to scare you. It's like a spiritual, like your spirit feels afraid. Like it's like a freeze, paralyzing spiritually. Like, oh, it's like some supernatural fear, right? So I was afraid, and but I was so curious. Like I wanted to see like what I was afraid of. But I didn't want the thing to know, that I was looking at it, so I like kind of like played it off. But when it was taking steps, because it was like a hardwood floor, so when it was taking steps, you can hear like hoofs, like animal hoofs, like hitting the hardwood floor, like right. And so and I can hear like a chimes, like sound like wind chimes, and I was like, I kind of like did, I act like I was readjusting myself in my sleep, and I like went like this, and then looked downwardly at it, like I moved the covers, and then looked down at it, through the bottom of my eye like that, and I got a chance to see what I was afraid of. Um, Best way to describe this thing, it looked like a minotaur. It looked like a minotaur. It had hoofs. It had one like withered leg, one fat leg. Like it was just a distorted looking creature, and it had like a big Buddha belly. It had like bones jingling for like a skirt, like a voodoo thing, Um, and it had like glowing red eyes, right? I just pretended like I was sleeping and kept calling on. All I knew, I wasn't really good at praying at that age, so I would just go, Jesus help me, Jesus help me, Jesus help me, Jesus help me, Jesus. I just kept saying that, Jesus help me, Jesus help me, Jesus help me, Jesus help me, and I just kept doing that the whole night until I fell. And I don't know how I fell asleep. I really don't. I really don't. I don't even remember going to sleep. I just remember being afraid. Um, and then I said, I'm not sleeping in that room because I was actually sleeping in my aunt's room that night. So I'm not sleeping in that room anymore. So I went and slept in. My great grandmother is the one that does the voodoo. So I went and slept in her daughter's, which is my father's mother, my grandmother, my straight grandmother. I went and slept in her room with my grandfather, thinking surely nobody would mess with me here. Nothing would bother me. Like I felt safe. And I slept at the foot of their bed, right? And er, uh, I was getting ready to wake up in the morning, and I felt something like pounce on me. Like it was like but it wasn't like, it felt physical, but it was like spirit, like it was like my spirit couldn't move, so therefore my body couldn't move. It was like I was being held, and they call it like sleep paralysis is what like scientific term is for it. But I'm just like, I couldn't move at all. All I could move was my eyes and just pray inwardly. And so it felt like an elephant was sitting on me. So, um, trying to muster up enough some energy to speak, but I couldn't speak. And then my grandmother walks by, the good grandmother, not the witch one. So my grandmother walks by, and I'm like, I called her mummy. So I'm trying to go, like I'm trying to get her attention, but I couldn't talk. Like something was like bind, had my tongue bound, and these things were like relentless. And then as I started inwardly calling on Jesus, they got angry and more angry. It was like like holding me tighter and like really laying into me, And then finally they released me, and I'm like, mommy, like and I was able to say my grandmother's name, and this eventually how all of the torment stopped. It's because my grandmother, I mean, not my grandma, my mom became a Christian, like a full force Christian. And, she wasn't playing no games. Like, she asked me why I was wet in the bed. She laid hands on me, put anointing oil on my head. She prayed in the name of Jesus for God to protect me from the crown of my head to the soles of my feet. Put angels of protection around me. Put angels of protection around the door. Like, just, she was going in. Like, and she said, God, close his spiritual eyes so he doesn't see these things. Close his spiritual ears so he doesn't hear these things. Like, she was like in war mode, right? And so I, that was the last I ever saw those things again. Last I ever was tormented in that way. I didn't see or hear anymore since that day. And even one of my cousins that lived in the house, this is in Brooklyn, New York, by the way, but even one of my cousins that lived in the house, she used to see stuff too. And me and her used to talk about what we see and hear. And she still used to see and hear these things. I stopped when my mother prayed over me. She just didn't have anyone to stop it. But my mom stopped it on my end. But she said, one day she saw demons trying to come into my house and an angel, and she was like excited, ecstatic, like, Aunt Teresa, to my mom, like, you won't believe what I saw, blah, blah, blah. It was an angel, it was like so big, and there was a demon coming in, and the angel cut it, and there was blood on the door, and they're big, they're so big, the angels are really big. And she was just like, and my mother's like, thank you, like, my mother's like thanking God, like she's just so grateful. And my cousin ended up losing her mind behind that stuff. She had like a mental break, and she was in hospitals and stuff, and it was very sad ending for her. She's still not the same till this day. So I say all of this stuff to let you guys know Satan is no friend. I'm 9 years old. What threat am I to him? 10 years old, what threat am I to him? And still he wanted to inflict pain. Still those demons, they got pleasure in tormenting me. Pleasure in tormenting a baby, a 9-year-old. Pleasure. It's like they hated me. I don't even know why they hated. Like, you don't even understand. You can't understand. Like, why do they hate me so much? Like, I didn't do anything to these things, but yet they hated me so much. So I'm saying this stuff for you people to know the truth. Even if you don't believe in God, if you have sleep paralysis, that's a spiritual attack. It's a spiritual attack. But, I'm telling you, I'm just making this video for you people to know you're not wrestling against flesh and blood. You're not, and you'll find out sure enough. But thank you for listening. Let me know what you think. God bless you. And hopefully this video helps people that are going through the same situation or afraid to speak about it or have had similar situations. Take care.